Guys, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while since I've said that. I've been absent for quite some time, and I'm not even gonna give you excuses. I'm just gonna let you know that it's been a really tough time for the past few months, and you know, I've been absent for a very significant reason. It wasn't that I didn't want to film. I really did want to film, and I miss filming so much, and I had so much fun filming today. So I had some health scares that I've been dealing with for literally like 4 months now, and I'm still in recovery mode, but I wanted to get on here and finally film something for you guys. And it was something that I actually recently just posted on my Instagram, and it's this recreation of Alexa Demie's makeup look that's literally been all over Pinterest and all over Instagram, and I just am obsessed with this look, and I wanted so badly to film it for YouTube literally since I've done it. And today I was like, okay, I need to do this. So I'm here. I got through it and I'm so happy. So if you want to know how I achieved this look, keep watching. So we're just gonna start with brushing out both brows. And then I like to brush them upward, and I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz. And then I'm gonna start with the Glossier Brow Flick. And then you already know how it goes. You just start drawing in brow-like strokes to mimic what you want your brows to look like. Now this is gonna be a preference. Everyone's gonna have a different desired brow. I personally go through different brow phases. Sometimes I like more of a straighter brow with less of an arch, and then sometimes I like more of an arch brow. Right now, I'm kind of more in between of a phase where I kind of like more of a less arch brow, because my brows already have a really high arch, so I try not to make them look even more arched. So I want to make it just slightly less arched for today. So I always start with the bottom of the brow as far as filling in, and then I move to filling in the top of the brow. And when I start filling the top of the brow, I brush the hairs down so I could really see those gaps, and that way I could see where exactly I want to fill in. Now remember what I said in my last video. I go in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in dark brown, and I fill in the front part of the brow ever so slightly, because I want the front part of the brow to be semi-smooth and semi-filled in. I want this part of the brow to look the most natural, because if I go in with the brow flick at the start of the brow, it will look a little crazy. And then I even start to fill in a little bit. If I see any gaps, I will go in with the Brow Wiz. So lately I have been liking a thicker brow, I'm not gonna lie. I have been liking it to be thicker at the start of the brow. So I have been making them a bit thicker, as you can see. I mean, look at how thin my brow is. You could already, I mean, obviously I'm not done, but like, look at the difference already. Going in with the handy dandy Amrezy mirror, just to really get close up in there and just tweak anything that needs tweaking. Make sure you're using your spoolie and brushing out that product, because we're adding a lot of product. You also want to brush out a lot of that product as well. Okay, so far I'm happy with the right brow. I'm gonna move on to the left. I'm not gonna set the right brow yet. I'm gonna set them together. So let's move on to the left. Okay, so for now, I think I'm happy with my brows. I may go in to touch them up as I go along. That's what I do every single time after I'm done with my eyeshadow and foundation and blush and all that stuff. But for now, I'm gonna set them. So I'm gonna set my brows with soap brows. You guys know I always rave about this stuff. I love setting my brows with this. It's probably the only thing that actually holds my brows. Now I'm gonna have to clean up the top of my brows with concealer because there is brow wiz residue and in general brow product residue everywhere, so I will be cleaning that off. But yeah, this is probably the only brow product that actually sets my brows. Okay, I'm gonna clean off that right now. I usually don't ever really put concealer on top of my brows. Like, you know, back in the day when I used to put concealer to set my brows, I don't do that anymore. I never used to conceal the top of my brow, but now using this product, the Soap Brows, I get so much brow product residue when I use this, and now I have to conceal the top of my brows. It's not that I really want to, but I have to like clean it off. But like, look at the difference though. Look at how sad this brow looks. This is the sad brow, and this brow is just like perfect. This is also my favorite brow. You guys know this. My right brow is my favorite brow. Okay, I think I've put enough product in that one. Now let's move on to the left. As you can see, I'm definitely gonna have to fill this brow even further in. I could already see gaps. So this is why I say I always have to go back and forth with my brows, because this kind of takes off some product, but I don't mind. So yeah, I'm definitely going back in for some more. Okay, and we are going to move on to eyes. So for primer, I'm going to be using MAC's Soft Ochre. This is the OG of paint pots. So as always, I start off with my Dior Backstage contour kit, and I always start with this shade in the crease. I don't know why I like to start off with this shade. I just do. It's kind of like a comfort zone for me at this point. It doesn't matter what look I'm doing. I just always like to prime my lids with this color. So we're gonna start with the Tarte Cosmetics Tartelette in Bloom. Apologies, it's been through war. So I'm gonna start with the shade Rebel in the crease. So Alexa really had her crease super deep set, and that could just be in general her crease. So I want to mimic that, just how I did in my Instagram look. So I really want to get up in there and deepen it as far as I can, or give that illusion. Now I'm going to go in with Leader and Activist, also in the crease. Now I'm just gonna clean up my lid a little bit to add the lid color. So I'm gonna mix a bunch of lid colors. I'm gonna mix like really light pink blush mattes on the lid. I mean, they're all gonna be, obviously the whole eye look is matte. So I'm gonna go back in to deepen the crease after I add in the lid colors and then do like the smoked out cat eye. But for now, I'm gonna show you what colors I'm gonna add on the lid. I'm gonna use a color from the Too Faced Born This Way, the Natural Nudes. And the color I'm gonna use is Petal. And then I'm also gonna go in with Tarte Cosmetics Tartelette palette, and I'm gonna use the color Caregiver. And then I'm gonna use the Tartelette in Bloom shade Flower Child. I definitely need a new Tartelette in Bloom. I've had this palette for years, and obviously I haven't bothered to get a new one. Yikes! So I'm basically just gonna mix all three shades. I remember the day that I did this look, I mean, it must have taken me like, no joke, like 4 or 5 hours. I don't even know why it took me that long, but I just mixed so many different things. And I remember I mixed, especially on the lid, like I mixed mad shadows. I might have even mixed another. I might even just top another shadow. I remember the day I did it, I was like, okay, there was no reason for me to use 87 shadows for this look. Like, it really wasn't that serious. But I really love that look. So I'm not putting on the shadows in any particular order. As you can see, I'm kind of being real messy with it. First I put on the Too Faced, then I put on Flower Child, and then now I'm putting on the Caregiver. See, as light as those shades looked, they already kind of oxidized. So I'm just gonna add even more to the front of the lid. Like those shades are really pale, like especially the caregiver shade. It's like the palest shade of pink and it already like oxidized. So I start off by drawing out a slight cat eye, and then I kind of blend it out with shadow, with dark brown shadow. So I'm going to use the Inglot 77 gel liner. So I'm basically going to do a struggle liner. It doesn't have to be perfect because it's basically going to be blended out. Well, not blended out. It's basically going to be smudged out with shadow. So I'm basically just gonna leave it as that for now. I'm just gonna add a bunch of dark brown eyeshadow and just start smoking that baby out. I just needed like a little base of a cat eye. To smoke it out, I'm gonna be using Smoke Show and Activist. Also, to soften any harsh lines that the dark shadow might cause, I'm gonna go in with Jet Setter, Smarty Pants, Sweetheart, and Rebel. So the Activist and the Smoke Show shades, I'm taking in all the way to the tear duct because it's gonna act as my cat eye. And then the other shades that I just mentioned are basically to soften the harsh lines because I don't want it to just be like this huge chunky cat eye. Yes, I'm going for a cat eye, but I also want it to be kind of like a soft cat eye, if that makes sense. So while I am smoking out the cat eye, it's also going to be kind of like this rosy mauve overlay over that. And if you go on my Instagram photo, you'll see that effect on top of the cat eye. And that's kind of like what created that effect. Because if I just leave the dark brown shadow as it is, there won't be any dimension. And I noticed with Alexa's look, there was definitely dimension. It wasn't just like a smoked out cat eye and that was that. There was definitely like layers upon layers on top of the smoked out cat eye. I'm also adding that leader shade that I showed earlier that I took in my crease. And I'm also adding that on top of, kind of in between the softer mauve shades and the smoked out cat eye shades. So it could kind of marry all of those together. Like I said, there's a lot of shadows that are being used for this look, but they're all playing a part because I really feel like they're all necessary to just kind of tie the look together. Also, as I'm doing this, I like to clean up the bottom of the wing. I basically just take a really sharp brush, something angled, and I put some eye makeup remover or just any liquid makeup remover on napkin, and then I just dip the brush in and I just glide the brush underneath the wing just to kind of clean it up so it's just super sharp, just like that. So as you can see, we're already getting somewhere. It's already starting to look good. Just gonna do just a little bit more blending, going back and forth with the dark and the light and the dark and the light and the medium shades and the dark and the light. Basically just a lot of back and forth work, just to kind of marry all those shades together. The Rebel and the Sweetheart shades really do give it that warmth around the edges, which is really what gives it that softness and kind of blends out the harsh edges, because otherwise it would just be any regular cat eye. And that's what gives it that smoky effect. That's that famous Alexa Demie look that everyone loves, including myself. So now I'm going to smoke out the lower lash line with the same shades that I used to smoke out the lid. Now the lower lash line wasn't completely closed all the way to the tear duct. It kind of went downward. So that's what we're going to do. Actually, I'm going to take the same brush that I draw on my cat eye with, and I'm going to basically load it up with shadow. And I'm just going to draw out that outward line that goes toward the bottom. And it kind of opens up the eye. Also, I'm gonna get another lens for my camera. I'm gonna get a zoom in, a lens that I could zoom in with. This one you can't zoom in with. That way you guys can really see the detail as I'm doing my eye makeup. And then also for the lid, it extends a bit past the tear duct. So I'm gonna load up the same brush with that same dark brown shadow and just extend it a bit past the tear duct. And then I'm gonna clean it up as I go. So there's basically kind of like a double-ended No, there's a double wing going on in the tear duct area. There's one on the bottom, on the lower lash line, and there's one at the top. From what I seen in the inspo photo, that's what I noticed. So that's what I'm doing. And that's kind of what I did for my Instagram photo. So as you can tell, I did my other eye off camera. If I didn't, we would be here all day. So I am going to apply just a black eyeliner. This is, I don't know how to pronounce this brand. I'm not gonna lie to you. Makiage. I hope that's how to pronounce it. And it's called, oh, this is featuring Rico Nasty. And it's just a black eyeliner. Featuring Amrezy mirror. And I'm just gonna apply in the waterline, top and bottom. Do you guys see how much bigger my eyes look? Me with this eye look? I love this eye look. I'm obsessed. Moving on into skin, I am going to go in with the Clinique Moisture Surge Moisturizer. And I'm gonna apply it with my brush, as I usually do. This pimple has not let me be great this entire video. It literally popped up last night. I'm like, really? You knew I was gonna film? And you just had to pop up, huh? So I know you guys are probably wondering, by the way, I apply moisturizer all over my chest and neck. I know you guys are probably wondering where the hell I've been, and I've had a hell of a summer. Without getting into too much detail, maybe I'll do a video regarding why I was MIA. I was basically diagnosed with a very uncommon condition called vestibular migraines. The main component of my vestibular migraines is vertigo. For you guys that know, I had vertigo last year, which is literally the most debilitating condition that you could possibly have. It's an actual terrifying nightmare. So it had me out of commission for months. Next, I'm gonna apply Madison Beauty Glowtopia. So being that it's fall right now, and as you guys know, fall is my second favorite season. Spring is first. I'm about to get real dry up in here. Naturally, I need to be doused in oil. To contour, I'm gonna use the Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate in Intensity 1. So I'm low-key kind of rushing through my foundation and base routine because I was doing the eyes for so long. I wanna make sure the sun doesn't set and then the background is like pitch black. So I wanna make sure I finish before the sun sets. I really have no business contouring my cheekbones. No business, considering I have cheek filler. I mean, half the time I really don't contour my cheekbones, especially lately. Like, my cheekbones already look contoured even when I don't do it. But I figured for the sake of the tutorial, I'm like, all right, I might as well do it. Also, doing makeup with your hair down is truly a pain. Get that forehead, or 5 head, shall I say. Well, it's not so much that it's a 5 head, it's just a wide head. That thing is like a widescreen TV, serving all the channels. For concealer, I'm using the CoverFx PowerPlay in G Medium 2. Load up that concealer. I'm also gonna mix a lighter shade, which is the N Medium 1, just because I'm not entirely golden. My body's more of a olive / neutral, but then my face is kind of cool and neutral. I'm literally 80 different tones. So sometimes I have to mix concealers and foundations. Foundations, I'm just gonna use one, but I do like to mix concealer sometimes, and this is a lighter one, just to be on the safe side. Concealer lips. I know so many people hate concealer lips because they say it looks like a corpse, but I love concealer lips, especially when I'm doing a nude lip, which is every day. Gotta be really careful when blending by the lower lash line. So I'm gonna use this tiny little beauty blender because I don't want anything to mess up that liner. So concealer and cream contour are done. We are going to go into foundation, and I am using the Dior Skin Glow Foundation in shade 3 Warm Olive. So remember my previous videos when I said I only apply foundation very lightly, like I literally use only a few pumps, and I basically just marry the concealer, contour, and only apply it basically in areas where I have no coverage. So obviously I have no coverage on my jawline, so that's pretty much where I'm applying the most coverage. I'm not really gonna apply any foundation in here. I'm only gonna apply up here to basically marry the highlight, meaning concealer, and contour, because obviously that contour is looking a little red on camera. It's not looking as red in person, but on camera things always look slightly different. So I used to put so much foundation on, and now I find myself saving so much more foundation, and it's just amazing. I am going to put foundation on my neck, always, and I do put foundation on my chest. So I am obviously a lot more bronze in my body than I am in my face, but that's what we have bronzer for. So after I apply translucent and all that and set my makeup, I will end up matching my body. So I take a little foundation and I add it around the brows. I mean, I obviously added concealer earlier, but it kind of came off already. So I added around this area to make sure there is some coverage around here and it's not naked, because obviously the beauty blender is too big to get around here, and even the little one is kind of hard to, I don't want to mess up my brows or the liner. So I make sure I add some foundation around there. So I'm gonna add just a tiny bit more concealer because I have really dark veins underneath my eyes, and I always have. I don't know why they're so prominent. I've looked into like trying to remove them, but obviously you can't really remove veins, unfortunately. So I always end up going in for a second coat of concealer. I don't have dark circles, thank God, but I do have veins, which are, I kind of feel like even worse than dark circles, to be honest. These veins don't let me live. I'm like, damn. Okay, so second coat of concealer has been added. I do feel like I do need it because my veins are so prominent, and even though CoverFx PowerPlay concealer is full coverage, I feel like the veins still like push through no matter what. So I do feel like I need 2 coats of concealer. And because I no longer put foundation underneath my eyes, I do feel like that's why I need to go in for that second round. So now I'm gonna go in with translucent, and I use the Anastasia Beverly Hills translucent powder. So I use a shade that's not released. Please don't hate me. Claudia said that she was gonna release this, but due to COVID, obviously everything got pushed back. So I use the shade Honey. I think this is unreleased. I don't think this is released. Don't quote me though. So sometimes I take a brush to get far up by the eye to make sure I don't ruin my makeup, meaning my eye makeup, because I want to make sure I get right underneath my lower lash line, and sometimes I just can't do that with the beauty blender. So I just use like a brush to kind of draw out that baking line. Only by the nose though. And now I'm gonna start removing the translucent. I don't need to bake for that long. I feel like it does the job, honestly, in a few seconds. And the reason why I start with the midsection first is because that's the section I want to be set first and kind of the lightest. The jawline, I don't need it to be that light. I feel like as long as this part looks super blown out for the most part, I mean, I don't need to be casket. When I say blown out, I'm not trying to be casket ready, but usually when I bake, I'm definitely a lot lighter after I set my makeup. So I don't like to leave in the jawline too long, or even the forehead, but as long as the under eyes are super bright and luminous, then the job is done. Because I don't like when the jawline is too bright and then it kind of doesn't match like the rest of me. Like right now, we're looking good, you know? We're matching. If I leave it on for too long, we're not gonna be matching. So when removing the translucent, I don't actually remove it, I stipple it into my skin. I find it more effective to actually press it in than like rub it away. Plus my skin is just not set up for me to just brush it away. I feel like that would not be the way to go for me. Like I feel like not only would my skin look hella dry, it would look like a leather bag, my makeup would move. And not even the fact that I'm not wearing primer. First off, I don't like primer. I've never liked primer. I don't think that primer does anything for my skin particularly. If primer does something for your skin, great, keep doing that. I just don't find any difference when I wear primer as opposed to when I don't. But in general, when I used to brush away the translucent, I would notice that my makeup would move, whether I was wearing primer or not. But this method, stippling it in, I feel like not only does my makeup last way longer, but my makeup actually stays put and nothing moves. So this is the way to go. Like stipple it in. And I feel like you have to have a specific brush to stipple it in. This is the Kat Von D brush. What number is this? 4, number 4. I love this brush. See, the under eyes are super bright because we've kept them on the longest. If I kept on the jaw this long, that means the jaw would have been this color. So we're just gonna set the cream contour that we just did with the Dior Backstage contour palette, and I'm gonna use my go-to shade right here. This is the most versatile shade ever. I literally use it for everything. Like, I don't know what I would do without this little kit. I know my nose doesn't need any further contouring, but I like to remove those little points right here. I hate those little points. So I'm going to contour on top of my nose. Not on the sides of my nose, on top of my nose. You guys, I'm really obsessed with this eye look. I'm not gonna lie to you, I was really nervous doing it on camera because doing it off camera and doing it on camera is two totally different things. When you're filming, it's like you have to film in certain angles that are just uncomfortable. And you know, when you're refilming something you already did, it's so much harder to like try to get it the same as the first time. So I was kind of nervous going into this, but I really love it as far as what I can see on the monitor. I don't know what it's gonna look like on the big screen. All right, so I'm just gonna soften that, and then I'm gonna put more translucent to try to take off those little points right there. Fuck around and get a nose job to fucking remove those things. Those little cartilaginous things. I hate them. And to think people always say I have a nose job. I'm like, would I have those things if I had a nose job? Do the math. Okay, we're just gonna let that sit right there. And now we're going to bronze. So I'm going to be using the Fenty Beauty Bajan Gyal. Bajan Gyal. Hope I'm saying that right. I love this bronzer. I'm basically just going to put bronzer everywhere. As I'm bronzing, I go back and forth with the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder just to make sure I don't go overboard and over bronze, because I tend to do that. Next thing you know, my entire forehead is just straight orange. I think to double up this bronze, I'm even gonna go in with the old formula, sadly. The Chanel Soleil 10 de Chanel. I can't believe they changed this formula. Like, why would they do that? Why? What would possess them to do that? Haven't they ever heard of such a thing as, if it ain't broke, don't fix it? Why? Why, Chanel? We love the formula as it was. Who told you to change it? I think the face and the body is looking the same. Even if they're not like 100%, you know? They're pretty close. All right, all this hair? Seriously? I'm gonna do my hair off camera in a little bit, but Jesus. I think I'm happy with how much bronzer I have on. Maybe just a little more. Okay, so I don't remember the exact blush that I used for the look. I mean, I did this look like 2-3 weeks ago, so it's hard to remember. And I didn't use the usual one that I always use, which is MAC Modern Mandarin. So I'm gonna go on a limb and say I've been kind of alternating between Manny's palette, and I kind of go in between these two right here, the two middle shades, and I actually found this on Instagram. They were advertising it and naturally I fell for it. The brand is called Dear Dahlia and it's a Japanese brand, I think. And they're really pretty. One shade is like a peachy pink, the other one is like a coral. So I kind of want to mix them with the Manny Lunar Beauty palette. So I'm gonna go for it. I'm starting off with Manny's. And these are really pigmented. If I need to dial them down, I'll just put some of the Charlotte Tilbury powder over them if I need to. For my lip recipe, I'm gonna be lining my lips with Kylie Cosmetics Kiss Me Sailor. This is my favorite lip pencil at the moment. I have been wearing this for weeks, ever since she came out with her Sailor collection. I'm gonna remove some of the crusty concealer that's stuck in here because that's not cute. And by the way, this is exactly why I put on concealer, because this is not the nude recipe I'm going for. As far as lipstick, I'm actually gonna put on just a dab of this Bite Beauty shade that I created last year in their Soho lab. This is a custom shade that I created last year. I just went and I created my own nude custom shade. So you can't buy this, but you could go create any custom shade you want. So if you want your own nude, you basically just tell them what kind of nude you want and they create it for you on the spot. And then that's it. It's really simple. So literally just a dab. I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't remember what lipstick I used that day either. This is just the most half-assed tutorial. As far as gloss, I'm using that same brand that I showed you guys as far as blushes that I was sold in an advertisement. It was sparkly and I was like, you know what? I'm buying. So it's called Dear Dahlia. So here's a swatch of it. It doesn't really look like anything on my hand, but topped over any nude lip, it is so pretty. So it's kind of like a coral, sparkly, nude, little, I don't know what, but it's special and it's pretty. And look at that. Yep, this was definitely what I put on that day. And no one will convince me otherwise. See, it's like, it doesn't look like anything swatched, but paired on top of like any nude lipstick, it's perfect. Or, I mean, if you want to wear it on its own, you could. You don't have to put it on top of a lipstick. Also, notice I didn't put on highlighter. Who am I? The reason why I didn't put on highlighter, it's not because I didn't want to, but I don't think Alexa wore highlighter for her look. So I didn't want to wear highlighter for my look either. Last step, and then I'm gonna go do my hair. So I already curled my lashes prior to filming, but I'm gonna curl them again. And I am using the Surat, I don't know how to pronounce it, eyelash curler. Are you guys feeling this makeup look or what? So as far as lashes, I'm wearing the Beauty by Rokael SoLuna lashes. I mean, I started this makeup look at 11. What time is it? It's embarrassing, it's 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock. So I have added my lashes. I added mascara off camera because I've already wasted enough time as it is. And I'm just gonna add some Amrezy highlighter, just a little bit on the bridge of the nose and the point of the nose. And the makeup is complete. I'm gonna go do my hair off camera and I'll be right back. So here I am with the final look. It is literally 5 hours of filming. I was so nervous that this wasn't gonna come out the same as my Instagram look. So I recreated this Alexa Demie makeup look that was literally all over Pinterest and Instagram, and I'm sure many of you have already created this exact makeup look. It is so gorgeous, and I wanted to do the hairstyle and the makeup look. I hope that I did it justice. I really like it, and this is my second time doing it. I've been doing the hairstyle. I really love the hairstyle and the little baby hairs and just the little sleek bun. It's been a long time coming of me filming this, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this. I love how I made my eyes look massive. I mean, you guys see me in the beginning of the video, my eyes are tiny. I have really small eyes and they're kind of round. And this kind of just gave me like really elongated, super kind of like cat eyes, and I just love that about this look. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and let me know what you guys want to see in the future. Let me know what makeup looks you want to see. I know I've been absent for a very long time, and like I said, I had a really tough summer as far as health. So I want to see if I can do like a dedicated video talking about my health condition, which is a very, very rare condition. So for now, let me know what other looks you want to see, or in general, what other videos you want to see. And until next time, I'll see you guys. Bye.